Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera to all my students, and I hope everyone stay well and stay safe during this MCO period. So we continue our lecture, lecture 7. The title of this topic is fertilization, and I think I have another 3 lectures before we start or before we move to endocrine system. Okay, so this is lecture 7, fertilization, and I hope everyone can follow me through the Putra Blast. Okay, you can download my lecture notes, so you can refer to the lecture notes and then together with this video recording. Okay, so it's easy for you to understand. Okay, now, so lecture 6 is lecture 6 before this is mating behavior, okay? And now lecture 7, fertilization, is actually the successful of penetration or ejaculation from male to female, okay, under mating behavior, lecture 6. And this is what happened, okay, especially when we talk about the sperm, okay, when they move from the, from ejaculation process and then to meet the ovum, okay. So generally, the definition of fertilization, also known as conception, fecundation, and syngamy, okay, is the fusion of gametes, which is both gametes, male and female, to produce a new organism. Okay, so in animals, the process involves a sperm fusing with an ovum, which eventually leads to the development of an embryo. Okay, so this is the very general definition of fertilization. Okay, depending on the animal species, the process can occur within the body of the female in internal fertilization. So this is a normal function, or outside in the case of external fertilization. I think this is more related in clinical study or AI procedure. Okay, guys. So this is the picture. You can refer my lecture notes, the structure of fallopian tube, okay, the movement of the ovum from the ovary, okay. This one you can relate with my lecture 2, the female organ system, what happened from the primary, tertiary, and the secondary, the process of the ovary cycle, release the matured ovum, we call the ovulation, and then the ovum move to the fallopian tube to get ready for fertilization, okay, by the sperm. And then the second image, you can see the sperm, the successful sperm fuse the ovum, okay. And then the next slide, you can see here, this is the procedure. Start from number 1 until number, I'm not sure, number 16, if I'm not mistaken, okay. So I read one by one, make sure that you understand. Number 1, fertilization is penetration of the zona pellucida by the spermatozoon, okay. So we call the zona pellucida layer, especially in the ovum, okay. Penetration by the spermatozoon. So spermatozoon is actually, when you refer to the picture, I think under male reproductive organ, we have the acrosome of in the head of the sperm. They have a lot of enzyme, hyaluronidase and acrosin, which is a proteolytic enzyme from acrosome. And then also spermatozoon motility stop once contact with the oocyte has been made. Okay, meaning that only one sperm successful to fuse the ovum, and then other sperm, the motility, in terms of the motility, stop once contact with the oocyte has been made. Number 4, the zona reaction occurs after penetration of the zona pellucida and protect the oocyte from further penetration by other spermatozoon. So automatically, when the penetration occurs, okay, the zona pellucida, okay, by the zona pellucida and the spermatozoon, this layer, the zona reaction, protects the oocyte, okay, from further penetration by other spermatozoon. Penetration by more than one spermatozoon, we call polyspermy, is deleterious to normal development of the zygote. Okay, this is actually we can say abnormal penetration by the spermatozoon. Okay, now we move to number 6. Okay, number 6, pronuclear developed from the nuclear of the spermatozoon and oocyte, which followed by fusion of respective pronuclear to form zygote with the diploid number of chromosomes. So this is when we talk about genetic in terms of the diploid number of chromosome. Okay, now, so fertilization is complete after the fused pronuclei have disappeared and are replaced by chromosome groups united in the introphyse of the first mitotic division. So what happened when the spermatozoon, especially the acrosome, fuse the ovum? So now we can see the process of the division, okay, by the chromosome, okay, when we talk about on the genetic factor, we call the first mitotic division. So you can refer this under mitosis and meiosis, but I don't want to emphasize on this because we have to move to next chapter, because if I explain this one, it will take a long time, especially when we refer about the mitosis and the meiosis process. Okay, so now the structure, okay, after fusion by the sperm to the ovum, we call zygote. Okay, please remember, we call zygote. So now, number 8, zygotes remain in the uterine tube for 3 to 4 days before being transferred to the uterus. So in this process, okay, the division of the cell from one cleavage until several cleavage, we call blastomer's structure. Okay, I will give you the structure after this, the process from zygote until trophoblast. Okay, so now number 8, zygotes remain in the uterine tube for 3 to 4 days before being transferred to the uterus. This is we call the blastoma process. And then number 9, uterine motility is unfavorable for zygote survival and estrogen dominance at estrus must be changed to progesterone dominance, which with the formation of the corpus luteum. Okay, guys. So you can see here the progesterone and estrogen increase. However, LH and FSH drop. Okay, please remember, LH and FSH is just focused on ovulation, but progesterone and estrogen is we can say for pregnancy, okay, for lactation, okay, later after this. Okay, guys. And then number 10, progesterone has a quieting influence on the uterus and promotes development of glandular endometrium that can secrete uterine milk, a nutrient medium for embryo preceding its implantation. We can say that progesterone is 100% used, especially during implantation. Now, upon fertilization, estrogen level will be sustained while progesterone increase. Okay, as I mentioned before, the cells in cleavage stage we call blastomers. Okay, number 12, blastomers. Then after blastomers, the cell division produce a 16 to 32 cell structure known as morula or mulberry shape. And then number 10, 12, 13, okay? A cavity forms within the morula by 6 to 8 days of age and the cell mass is called blastocyst. Okay, guys, so please remember, start from zygote, Start from zygote, blastomers, morula, and then blastocyst. After blastocyst, trophoblast. Okay, so I give you this, we have some. Okay, number 14, blastocyst composed of a hollow shape of trophoblast cells, inside of which is small cluster of cell called the inner cell mass. Trophoblast goes on to contribute to fetal membrane system, and the inner cell mass is destined to become the embryo and fetus. Stretch and soften zona pellucida ruptures on the equatorial plane, allowing blastocyst to escape by a process of hatching. Okay, I will explain later about the post-hatching. The period of the oocyte ends when the blastocyst attached to the endometrium. Okay, and then the embryonic period. Okay, I will explain later what is the embryonic period. Okay, guys. So based on the species, the fetal periods extend from this time until birth and begins at about day 45 of gestation. For example, in the cow. Okay, now, so this is the picture or the image just to show you about the what happened during fertilization. You can see day 0 fertilization, and once the fusion is successful, the penetration is successful. Okay, you can see day 1 until day 3 or day 4. The stage we call blastomer stage. Okay, the first cleavage, second stage, and fourth stage. This is the blastomer stage. Then after that, morula. After morula, blastocyst. After blastocyst, trophoblast. Then after this, I will explain to you what is the hatching. Okay? Now, zona hatching. So, blastocyst hatching or escape from zona pellucida. To be able to perform implantation, the blastocyst first needs to get rid of the zona pellucida. You can see the picture. Bursting zona pellucida, trophoblast, and then after that we call embryo. Meaning that the zona pellucida is or we call blastocyst first need to get rid of the zona pellucida, hatching or escape from the zona pellucida to make sure that the trophoblast implant, okay, to the endometrium. Of course, this one occurs in the uterus. Enzymatic factors produced by uterus, of course, estrogen, in uterus cause softening of zona hatching. Physical factors, expansion and contraction of blastocysts result in tear in zona hatching. Okay, guys. Post-hatching, blastocysts escape from zona pellucida provide first cell-to-cell contact between conceptus and maternal uterine epithelium. So once the zona pellucida occurs, this is to make sure that the cell, meaning that the trophoblast or the embryo, contact between conceptus and maternal uterine epithelium, meaning that the embryo implant to the endometrium. Contact essential for nutrient exchange and placental development. After hatching, blastocyst or conceptus enters a phase of rapid growth, hyperplasia, and development. And then this is what happened. The large portion of the endometrium to regulate release of prostaglandin 2 alpha to prevent litholysis, intrauterine migration, and spacing. So this is actually the physician or the shifting in position or location of an intrauterine from its original placement. So PG2 alpha is very important, especially during the fixation of the embryo. Okay, fixation can occur in the uterine horns with specific days, depends on the species of the animals. Okay, guys, so now what is the pre-embryonic development? So after the zona hatching or post-hatching, the trophoblast implant or embryo implant to the endometrium. So start from here. We call pre-embryonic development. Okay, the process of the embryo development. 3 germ layers form. You can see here ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. And please read this one, especially what structure under ectoderm, what structure under mesoderm and endoderm. Okay, so this is the embryonic development. Okay, guys, I have to finish before 15 minutes. So this is the process, the trophoblast. Okay, after the zona hatching, then we call the process is pre-embryonic development. Please remember, we call pre-embryonic development after process of the zona hatching. Okay, the trophoblast towards to embryo. Okay, so you can refer my lecture note, especially the picture, the structure. So I have to stop here within 15 minutes. So we continue after this under lecture 8, pregnancy and implantation. Okay, guys. So if you have any question, please text me or you can WhatsApp me. Okay, I will reply as soon as possible. Okay, guys. Thank you very much and stay well.